There is global recognition that gender equality in political participation is a fundamental aspect of modern democratic governance. The expectation, therefore, is that both men and women should have equal rights and opportunities to participate fully in all aspects and at all levels of political processes. In practice, however, women face challenges, and the number of women in leadership and decision-making positions abysmally low. Nigeria is not left out in this scenario, as the poor participation of women persists, while the number of those in political position is growing at a slow rate.
It's just the political problem that we're experiencing, the patriarchal society, the cultural society, religious issues, then coming down to finance, and then I take it back to the political parties where they lack internal party democracy. We have the godfathers, the gatekeepers, the financiers of political parties. They decide who will go and who will not go. And so women, because we didn't start early with the men, we have not built our own, class of godmothers who will protect our interest in politics.
Some of the barriers we have seen, first is culture and religion. Culturally, women should be in the home, making food, making babies, and the rest of them. Family pressure as well. When the family is not supportive, the women will try, but without that support, they will not come out. So I think these and some other reasons are part of the things making women's participation in politics to be on that slow pace.
Okay. Historical evidence is available to prove that Nigerian women have for long been playing a crucial role in the political life of the country. And this has contributed in no small measure in shaping the political system of the nation. In the Fourth Republic, which started on May 29, 1999, the Nigerian political terrain witnessed an increase in the number of women political appointees, even though they did not perform well at the polls.
So we've got to make concessions. And we're making concessions based on our understanding of what democracy is about. That democracy is about inclusion. Because if you take women out, democracy loses its vitality. The second is on the strength of the value that women bring to the table. Women have a lot to contribute to national development. We've got women who have intellect. We've got women who are resilient. We've got women who have skill. We've got women who have energy. Why are we not tapping into that energy and that resourcefulness that they have or they bring into public governance?
Significantly, there hasn't been any female governor in any state of the Federation, except for female deputy governors who had emerged at various times.
INEC, looking at all these variables, now committed to providing a level playing field for both men and women to participate in elections. It started by developing a gender policy to guide it in strengthening women's participation in elections. We developed that policy, INEC gender policy, in 2014 with an implementation strategy.
A peep into the 2019 elections' total registered voters shows that registered female voters constitute 47%, while the abysmal low level of female candidacy to the highest position in the country and other elective positions is quite glaring.
If you look at the list released by INEC, we have very poor representation of women candidates. For the House of Reps and the Senate, it's barely about 11 and 12% female candidates. We did analysis of young people running for office, and within the young people, the young females, it's barely 15% of young females within that youth category. And for us, that is worrisome. We have a country where women they are active as voters. Political parties are yet to understand and appreciate the role of women. So if we take it back to the party primaries, because that is where the problem started. At the point of primaries, they had lots of women aspirants. But parties at first, you had high cost of nomination. That first of all cut out women that could not afford to buy those nominations. You also had electoral violence that happened at the point of party primaries. And if you look at all these trends, they impacted negatively on women political participation.
What measures should be put in place to guarantee Nigerian women's active participation in politics?
If we empower more women will come out there. And women in politics presently should also mentor other women.
And we are beginning to see clearly that the 2019 elections will produce a lower percentage of women in parliament. That is obvious. So what we should be talking about now is, having women getting appointments to executive offices. Women are part of the campaigns. Women, they are there to support political parties. And of course, every political party is counting on women to come out to vote for them.
So parties need to adopt some levels of affirmative action. If you look at South Africa, the South African parliament has more women, has a large percentage of women, because the ANC, which is the leading party for one, has a quota system for women that adopts 50%. Also legislation, we still have a challenge with the Gender Equal Opportunity Bills. I know there's a bill before the National Assembly currently to promote women participation in elections. Those kinds of legislations help, and it has worked in countries like Senegal, in countries like Kenya. Look at Rwanda. For those countries, they even had that constitutionalized in their constitution. So their new constitutions created spaces for women participation. In Zimbabwe, they have what they call the zebra representation. So if a man is the candidate, the running mate has to be female, and if a woman is a candidate, running mate has to be a male. And those measures are helping to increase women representation in government.
Scholars have pointed out that leadership limits are not genetically required and have absolutely nothing to do with gender. While it has been proven that countries with increased women's participation in politics and leadership positions tend to be more inclusive, egalitarian, and democratic. In Abuja, Rabi Abdullah, NTA News.